What's going on, everybody? Sorry about some of the noises. We're outside. We get outside noises. What I wanted to do here was kind of tell you how I'm thinking about taking this channel's direction, how we're going to review the knives, kind of what we're going to do on here. So what I think we're going to do is, and before we get this started, let's do a knife check. I'm wearing basketball shorts, and you're not going to believe what I'm carrying. A 4 Max. Yep, 4 Max in basketball shorts. Now, I just got this in, so I thought I'd just see how well it carried. This will be one of the knives for testing. But how we're going to do this is, and I bet you didn't think you might ever wear or carry a 4 Max in basketball shorts. So when I first get a knife in, I've gotten a lot of knives in, and I opened them all, I ain't gonna lie. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you what comes in the package, and we'll measure it, give you the specs, the blade material and stuff like that, give you the overview of the knife and my initial first impressions. That'll be how we start the video out, hopefully on like a Monday or something like that. Then I'll carry the knife throughout the week, and like on a Friday or Saturday, I will give you my 4 to 5 day review of the knife. And how that's going to be is, I had a subscriber on here that asked me, hey, could you break it down into categories? And I thought, that's a perfect idea. It's a perfect idea. It's fair for every single knife. And I came up with 10 categories. And I'm actually going to ask you guys to, if you would like to see one of these categories replaced, not saying I'm going to replace it, but leave that in the comment section below. And if I like that idea more than what I have on the paper, I'll change it. So in the comment section below, if you hear one of these 10 categories, you think I'd rather have this category be, judged than this category that he's got, leave it in the comment section. Who knows, I may change that out. But for now, here's the 10 that I came up with, that I'm going to give it a scale from 1 to 10 for each category. And that way it adds up to 100, just like a test in school. And however many it gets will be so much out of 100. Easy peasy. So here are what I came up with to judge each knife in each category. One is carryability. How well does it carry in the pocket? How well can you get your hand in your pocket? How deep is the pocket clip? How much weight is it to actually carry? Now that's susceptible, I don't mind carrying big knives, apparently. So that don't bother me. So, weight of it may not be a huge factor to me, and it may be to you. But I'll try to keep it, a level playing field for each knife as far as weight goes. If one knife is actually lighter, I will actually rank it better, just because I know most people don't like heavy knives being carried. Next is practicality. How practical is the knife? I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. In your everyday task, this knife is probably not going to be very practical. Just saying. Not as practical. A Spyderco Paramilitary 2 is going to be way more practical than something like the 4 Max. Next, sliceability, which I don't even know if it's a word. I didn't look it up. We're going to call it sliceability. How well does it slice stuff? Maybe we slice some cardboard, we slice this, that, and other. I'll test the same and see how well they do at slicing. Again, your 4 Max has a big, huge, thick blade. It's not going to slice as good as a Para 2. It's just not. How well does it hold an edge? Now, this will also come down to blade steels, but you're going to pay more for those blade steels. Like, I ordered a Paramilitary 2. I've owned several, but I didn't own any now. I got mine in S110. That should hold an edge like nobody's business, but it should sharpen horribly. So there's a trade-off on some of this stuff. So we're going to test the edge. After we get through cutting the cardboard and stuff, how well does it slice paper? Will it still shave? I don't know if I'll test shaving. My wife really hates it when I shave my arms. Oh, it drives her nuts to have big bare spots on my arms. She just throws a fit. So we might not test the shaving aspect, although she probably wouldn't care if I tested it on my face right now, from the comments I got from her the other day. The next is warranty. That's a big issue. Do they stand behind the product? I hate a company that does not stand behind the product. It drives me nuts. So how well is their warranty? Next is materials. This will go with how well does it hold an edge. If it's got OS8 versus S110, obviously S110 is more of a super steel and it's going to win out. That's just the way it is. But you're going to pay this for the S110 and this for the AUS-8. And I'm not just going to test knives that are up here. I'm going to test knives in all aspects. I want to tell you guys, I got a under $26. It's over 25, but it's under 26. That is one of the most awesome knives that I've ever gotten, man. It's so smooth, it is amazing, and I will talk about that in the video whenever I review that knife. Next is ease of use. How well does it go in your pocket? How easy is it opening? Now, this isn't like carryability. I'm also putting in, opening, closing, stuff like that. Can you do it one-handed? Is it easily opened one-handed like the 4MAX? You can open it one-handed. You can't really shut it one-handed too well. So stuff like ease of use like that is where this category is. Not to be mistaken with carryability. That will be how easy can you get in your pocket. Carryability is more of when I'm walking around, when I'm putting my hands in my pocket, stuff like that. Operation or ease of use is going to be more like, can I put it in my pocket one-handed easily? Can I remove it easily one-handed? Can I open it one-handed? Stuff like that. Next is, of course, weight. Like I said before, the weight is a big deal for a lot of people. So we're going to throw that in there, and I am going to look at that as if I do care. I'm going to look at that as if I did care how much my knife weighs. So I'm not going to actually look at this from my point of view. I'm going to look at it from everybody else's point of view. That way it's fair. Next is just cool factor. This knife is pretty cool. You whip out a 4MAX in front of your friends, and they're going to be like, holy crap. It's a conversation piece. If I whip out a QSP Penguin in front of my friends, they're going to be like, that's a little knife. And that's going to be about the end of it. Now, if they fiddle with it, they may be like, that's pretty smooth. How much does that cost? But it's not going to be a conversation piece like a big old 4MAX. So the cool factor is kind of like an X factor type thing. And it's going to, that one may be a little bit subjective. I mean, what's cool to you may not be cool to me, but since this is my channel, it's going to be my cool factor. Next is one I love the most because this is something people do all the time, and that's fidget factor. How much do you fidget with the knife? How fun is the knife to fidget with? Axis locks, awesome. Compression locks, awesome. Stuff like that, amazing stuff to fidget with. That's going to be your 10th category. I am looking forward to this category because, a lot of people fidget with their knives. I've actually had people tell me that they've been in meetings and they've had to say, hey, put your knife away in a meeting. I mean, they're like fidgeting with their compression lock or axis lock in a meeting. Now, of course, this isn't like in a big fancy meeting. This is more like a laid back meeting. But nonetheless, they've had to be asked to put their knife away because they were fidgeting with it. So fidget factor is a huge deal to me because you hear a lot of people talk about fidgeting with their knives. That seems to be more of a big deal now than it used to be. When I owned a lot of Spydercos like Para 2s and stuff like that back in the day, because I've owned a ton of knives. I've owned knives that range from just a few dollars to knives that were probably over $1,000. So I have a broad range of knives that I have owned in my life, from like Kirby Lambert full customs, Dwayne Carrillo full customs, Strider custom. I mean, I've owned just tons of knives in my life, so I've got a lot of experience. I just never decided to do videos about it until now. So I've seen lots of different knife shapes, lots of different knife styles, lots of different blade steels, and a lot of fidget factors in knives. And I fidgeted with knives long before fidgeting was a thing, and I didn't even know what I was doing. I was just playing with the knife. It didn't technically have a name like it does now. But these are my 10 categories that I'm going to be ranking each knife with in the second video when I go over, my final thoughts of the knife. So let me know, what do you think about these 10 categories? Are these 10 categories good? Are you good with them? Are they sufficient for what I want to do on this channel, as far as for ranking these knives? Or is there one of these that you would change out for something else? And if it is, let me know in the comment section below. I just might change it. Not saying I will, but I just might. And if enough people put it in there, obviously you want to see it, I probably will change it because, this is a channel for you guys. So if one of these 10 you don't like and it gets suggested, 100 times, obviously I'm going to change it. But if it just gets suggested 1 or 2 times, I'll make that decision. I appreciate y'all watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.